This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Hey everyone, welcome to Rider Time Podcast. I know it's been a while, like it's been a whole month since our last video, so that's why we're covering 4 whole episodes in one go. I know, first of all, everyone, Happy New Year 2022. Hopefully this year will be even better than the previous year, and this is the first Rider Time Podcast of this new year. And yeah, we're going to do like an entire Arc 1 cap off before, we go back to doing new episodes on a weekly basis like we used to. And, how's everyone's Christmas? How's everyone's New Year's? Let me know in the comments because I know it's been a while and I do want to hear from you guys. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy and all that. So, but yes, housekeeping out of the way. Yes, we are covering 4 whole episodes. That episodes 13 through 16, which is why this week's episode is collectively titled Fenix Close Call, Thoughts on One to Protect. Yes, I kind of combined the titles of episodes 13 and 16 because, let's be honest, it's each episode title is really long, and 4 episodes, yeah, YouTube will have a fit. But man, so much stuff happened, and we're so I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you thought about these 4 episodes, and I'm gonna quickly go over what happened in case if you haven't watched episode 13 in the last month. So let's go over it real quick. So on occasion, the Fenix headquarters, which is on a flying ship, has to land, which is an opportunity for the Dead Man to try to sneak on board and try to get some stuff that they want. Recap, in order to awaken Gift, they need 6 level 3 Dead Man in order to reawaken Gift, and they currently only have 2 of them, which are Olteca and Julio, and Aguilar is supposed to be the bride. But it just so happens that in the Fenix prison, a former Dead Man is eligible to become a level 3, which is the lawyer from episode 6, who's a kangaroo Dead Man. And so they break in order to break him out. Meanwhile, Icky cannot transform because he's getting an upgrade, which we finally get to see an upgrade form. Not so big on the name, but at least he finally gets a new form. And of course, we see Kagero again, surprisingly. And of course, we see all 3 siblings in action. Then in the following episode, we have a 2-pronged attack. One trying to get revenge against Sakura because as you all remember, the evil doctor from episode 12 is a candidate for a level 3 Dead Man, and of course, we find out who the traitor is. We finally find out who the traitor is, and of course. Episode 15, we actually go on the offensive. We actually go fight the Dead Man in their home base. And we have some shocking revelations about the Dead Man because all 6 level 3s have been gathered. They're ready to do the sacrifice. So time is of the essence. And then finally, episode 16, we see the aftermath of the previous episode, which I'm not going to go too much into because a lot of stuff happens, but now we're left with a lot of questions that I hope will get answered in Arc 2. So first of all, one of the first notable things to discuss is the fact that Sakura's mom is not okay with her being a Kamen Rider. Now, she's still a minor because she's still in high school, clearly. and even though she's an excellent martial artist, and we've seen her kick a lot of butt, what are you guys' thoughts on the fact that she, as a concerned mother, is letting her teenage daughter go out and fight? Now, I know a lot of you. Now, this honestly, in retrospect, gives me a lot of callbacks to Spider-Man because I remember when in Homecoming, when Aunt May found out that Peter was Spider-Man, she had a fit, and I would have loved to see some interaction about how how she deals with Peter becoming Spider-Man, because she just drops an F-bomb and we roll the end credits. But I'm curious how that would have played out, and I'm not going to spoil No Way Home, so don't worry about that. But I am curious. But I am actually interested in seeing how how parents deal with their kids being superheroes. I mean, we do see the parents of Power Rangers, but they don't often find out that their kids are Rangers, at least until some of the more recent seasons, and some exceptions. But like sometimes you got to balance your personal life with your superhero life. Another thing to note is that while Sakura and Daiji were fighting Give Juniors outside, Daiji ended up being swapped out with Kagero very briefly. So we got a Sakura versus Kagero fight, and it was really fun to watch. We see the Peacock Vice stamp, which is based on Kamen Rider Z Cross, which means that I really need to get that Vice stamp. And it's really cool to watch this fight. What do you guys think of this battle? And how do you think that Kagero will come back as a heel? I repeat, as a heel more often in later episodes. So, and makes me want to ask, how much of a liability is Daiji? And of course, as I mentioned in this episode, we also finally see an upgraded form, Baird Rex. This is his form and involves an egg hatching. So his armor basically shell pieces of the egg in the middle of his transformation. Now, one thing I notice is Vice doesn't get a form change like he did in other forms that they have had in the past. And noticeably, he just takes one of the shell remains from the transformation sequence and just uses it as a shield, which, of course, the two of them use to fight against Julio and Olteca. But what do you guys think about this change in forms? Like, do you think that do you wish that Vice also had some kind of Baird Rex related upgrade, or do you think the shield is just enough for that? Now, one thing I do find very interesting is one of the perks of the upgrade is the fact that he can summon remixes of his other 10 Vice stamps without him or Vice having to combine and do a transformation. It's wholly separate from the two of them, and as you can see in this screenshot, the very first one that they summon is Brachio. And of course, we do get a quick joke about Vice feeling a bit left out. But what do you guys think? Do you love this new ability? Or do you think that they should still combine with each other to make some kind of new thing in 11th remix form? Now, moving on to the next episode, Sakura is challenged. Well, rather, going a little bit back. So we do have 4 members of to be sacrificed, and of course, Aguilera wants Sakura to be one of the 6 because I don't know, she has like a psychotic best friends situation going on with her. But of course, one of the 2 new members of the Dead Man has it out for Sakura because she foiled his plans. Foil my plans? Foil your plans? Are you? No, you better not be. So Vegeta joke out of the way. Yes, so he calls her out in the middle of school, and of course, none of her friends or classmates know that she is Kamen Rider John. So this again goes back to Spider-Man, where he doesn't want anyone knowing that he's Spider-Man, but of course, Now everyone knows that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So, like, how are people at school handling this revelation? But of course, Sakura is trying to keep it to herself. And what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think? Because I know some writers are more public about their secret identities, others stay in the hush hush. What do you guys think? Do you prefer writers or even Rangers for that matter? Do you prefer them to keep their identity secret, like the Mighty Morphin crew, or do you like them being public figures like Lightspeed Rescue? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. But you do get a comedic sequence where Sakura just has no privacy to transform, and ultimately she does have to transform in front of her friends when their lives are put into danger. Nevertheless, we do find out who the traitor is, and the traitor is none other than the commander of Fenix, except we find out he's not really the commander. Turns out he was killed in the first episode off screen, and his role was replaced by this imposter, the Chameleon Dead Man from the previous episode, all along. And of course, the Chameleon Dead Man is a reference to General Black from Kamen Rider Shocker, just like how Julio is based off of Colonel Zol and Olteka is based off of Dr. Shinigami. But what are you guys' thoughts? Were you able to figure out that he, like, when you first saw this, were you able to figure out that he was a traitor the whole time? And what are your thoughts on the revelation that he was dead this whole time? No pun intended. Because I think a lot of people will find it shocking. I mean, honestly, I'm more shocked by the fact that he was dead in the first episode rather than the fact that it was this character all along. But hey, at least George is not the heel. But of course, with all things going, and of course, the lawyer from that I mentioned earlier, he used to be the Kangaroo Dead Man, but now he's the Similodon Dead Man, and I'm calling what it is. It's a Similodon. I hate using the phrase saber-tooth tiger because it's not a tiger. It's more of a member of the puma family. Therefore, it's a Similodon. I will not let go of this. I take taxonomy very seriously. But yeah, so he attacks the bathhouse and injures Icky's dad. And of course, the two of them and of course, Icky has a battle against him, and it essentially ends in a draw. But now they have 5 members to sacrifice to Lord Giff. But now Aguilar says, so who will be the 6th member? And of course, Olteka reveals, actually, we already have a 6th person to sacrifice. It's you. That's right. Turns out Aguilara wasn't really supposed to be a bride as much as she was the main sacrifice. Turns out the 5 members of Dead Man were only supposed to charge up the tomb of Lord Giff, while Aguilar was raised to be the main sacrifice, and she was tricked into thinking that she was supposed to be his bride. And what are you guys' thoughts? Did you know that she was supposed to be a sacrifice, or did you think that she would stay alive to be his actual bride, like Diva Talks from the second Power Rangers movie? And like, were you guys shocked by this? Or were you not? I found it very interesting. I mean, I'm not super surprised because I expected something like this would happen. Because, being the bride of like this ultimate evil, I imagine there's some kind of downsides to it. But here's the thing. But the thing is, at this point, due to the previous conflict, they do have this important gift stamp that they need in order to reawaken Lord Giff. But it had a tracking device on it. But the thing is, they still needed to know how to get inside of the Dead Man's base, which thankfully Kaguro knows, and they managed to bribe him to revealing it by eating spicy curry. And I love spicy curry. Do you guys like spicy curry? And of course, when he turns back into Daiji, he can't handle the heat. But what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think Kaguro will start turning into a babyface as the show progresses, or will he go back to being evil? Like, will he be like a good evil clone, or sorry, not clone, evil? Will he be a good babyface evil twin, or will he remain like a completely evil twin that Daiji will have to deal with for the duration of the season? I'm really curious how that dynamic is going to play out, and I hope you guys are too. But in the final battle, we do get to see all three siblings work together, and this was such a beautiful shot. And what do you guys think about this final fight scene where all three siblings work together? Because it looked amazing to me, and yes, not gonna lie, between the red, blue, and yellow eyes, that kind of gives me Power Ranger vibes. But they managed to defeat two of the level 3 dead men, which causes them to be completely disintegrated, because turns out they stay perma dead. So now we're down to 4 members. And of course, they try to rescue Aguilera, because this, kind of destroys the whole. And of course, Julio is not cool with them sacrificing her either. I feel like we should bring that up. And of course, we get the most amazing finisher we've seen all season, where all 10 remixes combine their attacks. This is so freaking awesome. And for some reason, you do get like copies of Revi in his jackal form because of the skateboard, because he does turn into because his remix is him riding a skateboard. So I guess that kind of works. Now, episode 16 continues where 15 left off. And we actually do find out that Julio was rescued by Aguilar by joining the Deadmans. So he's against her being sacrificed. But she does reveal that she does have a Deadman form, which is Queen Bee. She is based off of Bee Woman from Kamen Rider. And this is so freaking awesome. And honestly, I like her design. What do you guys think of that design? Because it looks amazing. And especially love that honeycomb that shows up right above her, because it reminds me of Vespi Queen from Pokemon. And of course, they managed to make a getaway. And so there's so basically the Deadmans, they're basically split into factions. But moving right along, we do find out that the Chameleon Dead Man tries to impersonate Ikki's mom. But they anticipated that, so they set a trap. And of course, Ikki does manage to defeat him. There isn't much plot in this episode as much as everyone trying to figure out their next moves. And Mike, and at this point, I feel like I need to ask the question: what do you guys think that Aguilar and Julio's next move is, considering the fact that they now they're no longer part of Deadman, and they are wanted for dead? What do you expect their next moves to be? Like, do you think they're gonna create a new Deadman society where she's in charge? Do you think they're gonna become good guys? There's a lot of possibilities, but of course, Olteco wants world domination, so can't fault textbook megalomania. But of course, back to the fight. Ikki does use the T-Rex remix to rider kick the Chameleon Dead Man, and of course we finally see his true face. So throughout the last few episodes, even though it's revealed that he's not really the commander, he does keep his face on, because apparently he does have body dysmorphia, where like he doesn't like the look of his face even in reflections. So he's keeping the commander's face as a way of dealing with his own personal hatred of his appearance. But right before he dies, we actually do see his actual face. And believe it or not, he's played by if I remember correctly, this is the actor who played Alfred in Kamen Rider Gaim. So, So that's a nice callback. But of course, we do have a new commander for Fenix, which is Hiromi. And how do you guys think he's going to handle being the new leader of the the Fenix organization? Do you think he's going to do a better job? Do you see some reformation where things will be done for the better? Do you think he'll become power hungry and turn into Michi from Kamen Rider Gaim? Let me know in the comments. But right as soon as he leaves, George does receive some test results. So, as I mentioned a few episodes ago, Ikki's dad was attacked by the Chameleon Dead Man, and so Fenix tried to heal him, but they find out that in his X-ray he has no heart. So, what could this possibly mean? And of course, Sakura gets a message from Hikaru, the creepy neighbors next door, and she. So when she goes to their apartment, so to their house, the whole place is empty. But she finds a secret. She finds a secret stairway leading to a green light, and what is on the other side? Hopefully, we'll find out next episode. So that's episodes 13 through 16 of Kamen Rider Revice. What'd you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the comments. So my thoughts: a lot of crazy stuff happened. I love the action. I love the choreography. I love the revelations that we have towards the end. I wish the pacing in the earlier episodes were a little bit better, but it is what it is. Honestly, I'm curious to see if there's any. Part of me was wondering if there's going to be some kind of triangular thing between Julio, Aguilera, and Sakura, and I'm curious what is it that Sakura's going to find out in that staircase, and I'm also wondering if the dad not having a heart might somehow play into Ikki having a vice inside him the whole time, like it's a genetic thing. I am curious to see what his Aguilera's next move is, and I love finally getting to see her dead man form, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And of course, next episode we are teased that he'll get a further upgrade. So let's see how things play out. And of course, Kagero, I want to see more of him, and because I want to see him, I want to see if like he could actually be tamed into being like a friend, because I love Kamen Rider Evil's design more than Kamen Rider Live. So I hope to see Kamen Rider Evil be a good guy. Anyways, my scores for the episodes: for 13, I give it an 8 out. I give it a 9 out of 10. Episode 14, also 9 out of 10. Episode 15 and 16, both. Well, 15 gets 10 out of 10. Episode 16 gets a 9.5 out of 10. Those are my ratings. And of course, as a whole arc, I give the arc, I give it an 8 out of 10, because while I actually liked a lot of the episodes and I love a lot of the characters, the main issue was the pacing. The pacing of a lot of the episodes were either too fast or too slow in certain cases, and that could really make or break an individual episode. But as the whole arc goes, I actually like this progression. There could be some improvements, but hopefully second arc will be even better, as a lot of seasons tend to be that way. What do you guys think of the episodes? Likes, dislikes, score out of 10? Let's look at what you guys think. So Parrot the Mesh says, hi guys, excited for Dawn Brothers 2022. Yeah, it's coming out next month. Honestly, the Black and Pink Rangers kind of freak me out a little bit, because one is too short, the other's too tall. This is not a question you should be asking me. Because I'm not part of Sentai Hero Special. I'm Rider Time Podcast. Let's see. We'll be hoping that Zenkaiger versus Kira Major. Maybe. Again, COVID kind of ruined a lot of people's plans in terms of movie releases. It is what it is. But hey, good news is on Tokusatsu, we can watch 01 and Ryuki for free legally. So thank you, Tokusatsu. Why don't you release more episodes, please, and thank you. And of course, I want to thank Bandai for now doing American releases of 01 drivers. Please do an American release for the DXs of some of the Heisei riders too, please. Begging you. I just recently got Blade Rouser and Neo Deca Driver. So, I really need that Kabuto belt though. Stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you. And when is Dino Fury Season 2 will come? Again, I don't know, but when it does come out, we will review it. And that's it for the comments. Thank you all for watching this video. And again, we're going to go back to one episode at a time next week when we review episode 17. Again, we haven't done an episode in a while. Christmas, New Year, conventions, COVID, a lot of stuff that's been happening. Be sure to check out our YouTube and Facebook. Recently, we've released some of our past interviews at conventions, including the cast of Beast Morphers, Richard Cancino, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Some anime Pasadena interviews. Be sure to check those out. And if you like our content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and in the case of YouTube, ding the bell icon, because you know how those algorithm dead men like to mess with us. And of course, you could find all that here on the Morphin Network. And of course, as some of our comments mentioned, yes, Sentai Hero Special, we are reviewing Zenkaiger, and of course, Dino Fury on Ranger Podcast Live, and of course, Boom Studio Comics at Ranger Comic Time. So be sure to check out all of our shows and our interviews. And I'll see you all next week. And again, Happy New Year, everyone. Stay safe. Make sure that you're staying safe and healthy. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.